Hey, how's it going? I'm gonna do a look at weekly review. Hang on a second. Gold and silver are retracing. We got a 3-bar pattern on gold for the daily chart close. It is, and both are above the 8 on the daily. So let's watch for a bounce off the 8, keep the momentum going. But it looks like on the 4-hour chart, I have a 3-bar reversal. Tri-tips. 3 tips pointing up means coming down. Now I got a bearish retracement back into resistance on silver. So expect silver and gold to come back down. I'm not sure if that daily 8 is going to hold. I got previous highs all the way down to 13. So let's see if gold come back to 13. Silver. That's holding the 8 now. Came down into previous highs and bounced. So let's see if silver can hold that support line and bust on through. Copper took a big hit, coming all the way back in. Nice run on copper, though. I think I wanted it to go through 324, I think, is where I wanted it to end up. It doesn't look like it's going to get there. I'm not sure. Yeah, these previous lows over here almost got there, 324. Looks like I got a 2-bar reversal on the daily, so weekly close, 2-bar reversal. Let's see if we get the 1-2 punch on that. That would be nice. But let's start with the daily on the dollar. I may have a 3-bar reversal coming. Look at previous high breaks on the daily. Weekly close was pretty dramatic on the dollar. It got rejected pretty good. Breaking the 92 point. Watch out below. There's nothing holding it up until we get down. Previous highs at 88, 89, let's call it 90. All the way through. If it breaks previous highs, it's liable to run all the way back into 84.5. But it is stretched beyond belief. Look for any kind of bearish retracement back into resistance. Previous lows all the way into the 34 on the weekly. Daily, watch for a previous high break, as we could get a 3-bar reversal, reverse head and shoulders forming. S&P on the close, it's not open now. Looks like a bearish harami. It's a descending triangle top. We'll see how this see how it pans out. I got the 34 holding it up at 2400. So bearish harami. Let's see it's come on in. VIX still on its lows. Japanese dollar trade. Looks like it's hanging on by a tether, but it did close above previous low. It's just barely. It's hanging on by a thread, as it always likes to do. I'm thinking this is a right shoulder, and this is going to swing down for a slingshot move. You got the left shoulder. Left shoulder head, right shoulder, and it's going to swing down and crack. That's just a guess, though. Those right shoulders are always the head fakes, the best head fakes. Let's do the dot. Anywho's, it's a flat bottom. I don't like flat bottoms. Flat bottoms break down. And it looks like this will be really fast, short, and sweet, but we'll see when we get there. Let's break previous lows first. Run into previous highs or the previous break. In and around 102, 104, 102, 104, 102 in there. And then watch the double back. See what happens on that. Dow Jones. That's a pennant at a top. Descending triangle, no less. Descending. It's got to break out of there, make it higher highs, or it's going to come back in. Watch for previous lows. Trade outside the box for the triangle. Lower highs, descending. It closed below the 8. Hurricanes, one after another. I don't see these things holding up at all, but you know, been saying that for years. NASDAQ. Weekly close, that's a bearish harami. Closing a double top. It's got to open and make a new high, or else momentum's going to die. It's got great momentum, closing above the 8. But we have Friday's, or last week's candle inside the hole of the previous candle. And we got a double top forming. And it looks like we've got a lower high on the close. Double top's working. Crude coming back into support, no problem. Nice run. Watch for the double back on that. Coming back into support, that is a bullish harami. After the break back into support, buy at support, let her rip. Looks like it wants to break that long-term trend line soon. And that long-term pattern is going to break. It's going to break out with some gust. Never mind the hurricanes, her distribution hang-ups. Looks like a 90 after the price pattern breaks. Looks like 90 in the future. Not sure how long, but that could, within the year, could be back up to 90 a barrel. That's a huge price pattern. Once it breaks, it's going to just go forever, it would seem. So watch for that. That's a nice, very sweet price pattern. Reverse, head in, shoulders. Watch that neckline break. That's been brewing for a while. So if gas prices go up, don't blame it on the hurricanes. This price pattern has been going for January 2015 was the start of the pattern. And I don't know if it's done yet. It's got to break to complete it. It could just swing down for another elongated right shoulder too. So make sure it breaks. Once it breaks, it's onward and upwards. 60 will get you 70. And 70 break can get you all the way to the previous lows. That'll be the day. Google still working a double top. It's hard to break those double tops. Hard, hard, hard. But the double top working into resistance got rejected. Let us see a previous low break this week on that one. That could be construed as a bullish harami. So let's watch that. Double top was working. 2-bar reversal on Apple on a weekly close. Does not look good. Very ominous, closing on its lows. And the island top, exhaustion move, coming back into resistance. Let's watch the rejection on Amazon. Weekly close. Gold again, got into resistance and backed off. It's still inside the pattern on the long-term chart. So let it come back in. Let's do its thing, blah, blah, blah. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I'm thinking on the third try, maybe we can get across that 1300 mark with some gusto. But pretty good run into resistance. Pretty good, pretty good. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Got to correct that 13 high. I'm thinking the third try, so let it come back into support, you know, that 1260 mark. And then back in for a triple top break on a weekly. That would be nice. Short and sweet too. Watch it short and sweet, or is it the stair step into support? I want those short, sharp U consolidations, very sharp U, and then pop. Silver, still working a bottom. Got to break that. What was that 1850? Let's get to 1850. Our resistance on silver first before we back off. I'm thinking it's going to hit. It's going to swing down fast. Back into 17, and then double back. The 1-2 punch on a weekly. So maybe we hit, and then we come all the way back in on the same week. Little volatility move, and then the following week, bust out that 1850. That's high hopes, but silver should get pretty volatile once it starts cracking. Still in a bear market. Need to break that bottom. We need to break that bottom. Previous highs. We need to crack into 1850. That 1850 has been running for a long time. Cracking the 1850 on silver will get us into the previous highs of 20. Maybe a little stair step into support and then crack. Got to get above that 1850. Copper, again, 2-bar reversal on the daily. What's the monthly? 2-bar reversal on the weekly. Excuse me. So watch for that. Let it come back in. I'd love to stay above 3, but if it's been running so hard, I'm pretty sure they're going to let the gas out. Let it come back into previous highs. I got previous highs at 3, but then I think at 280 is more like it. If it breaks down the 34, 280 is the mark. What is that? Looks like a little consolidation. Not sure if that's going to crack down or not. It's got plenty of room to come back in on the weekly. Gold-silver ratio. Looks like gold's going to be a better buy for a few more weeks. GDX probably going to come back in with the gold and silver. Weekly close, pretty nice. Not on its highs, so you don't have to really worry about the double tops. Not on the open, that is. It could make a new high or matching high on the open and then make a double top. It looks like maybe even a continuation coming. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Stay above the 8. Always stay above the 8. Once it starts breaking down, the 8, Their 4-hour chart is close, but it looks like just a stair step into support. Stair step into support, support, support. Watch for a previous high break. Otherwise, watch a previous low break, as it could just come on in, no problem. It already broke down on the hourly. Double top, lower high on the hourly. So we're going to take out this double top on the hourly. That's it right there. Hold support. Let it build, 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 build. Crack that high. Get above previous highs. Use that as your support. Above the 8. Always get above that 8. Looks like the hourly chart's the one to watch. Trying to get that support. Looks like on the 15-minute on the close, everything looks good there. Got to take out that top. Get that hourly moving. Just looks like a stair step into support, but you got to get a couple hours of close above the 8.13 there. Looks like I got a bearish retracement back into resistance on the GDXJ. So allow these to come back in. I got a 2-bar reversal on the daily GDXJ. That's almost, that's pretty damn close to a falling star. Let it come into support on the miners after seeing that one. Nugget, nice break. Nice, nice, nice. Let it come back into support. The bullish retracement, buy at support. Over the 34, back into support. Use the 34 as your support, the previous highs. Broke into previous lows. Now it's going to come back in, it looks like. Just judging from gold and silver's retracement already. And JNUG tried to get over the 34. It looks like it's going to be rejected. Look for previous low breaks. Look for the gap down on the open, I guess, on this one. See if we can catch it in the morning. UEC. Got the lower high. Higher low. It's in a pattern. I'm thinking that's the right shoulder, but it's still weak on the close. So go back and forth, back and forth. Little cup in handle. Previous high breaks at 15. 1472 should get you 15. I'm gonna have to vote for bullish on that, but stay above the 8. Make sure support holds. Support does not hold, you should not hold it. AG into the 13, back into the 8, so it's building. Build, 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 build. Back and forth, back and forth. Hit previous lows across the 13 and got rejected. Inverted hammer. So let it come back into previous lows, previous high for support, but that's a rejection on the 13. So let it build, build, build. Let the opposing point come in. Into resistance, back into support, build, 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 crack that 34. NAK, watch NAK for previous high breaks. Looks good on the weekly. Cross the 34. Cross the 34, came back in. Cross the 34, came back in. Watch for previous high breaks. The continuation will come. Looks good. CLF, 2-bar reversal. That's a bullish retracement. Over the 34, back into support. Watch the double back on this week for CLF. It'll be a great buy on Monday for CLF. Let's see that. Make sure it holds support, because that looks drastic. Make sure it holds support. The that weekly chart says it came all the way into support. I got a 3-bar reversal on the hourly, so watch that one. It's got to cross over the 8. It's got to build from this bottom. Three-bar reversal through time, it cracked the 8, come back into the 8, into the 13, blah, 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 blah. It looks like lower highs got the best of it on the close. Sorry, my lines aren't straight. They never are. Watch for the double back. It broke resistance, came back into support on the daily. Weekly, came across the 34, came back into supports on the weekly. It's a bullish move. That's a bullish consolidation. I know it dropped off the map though, what it looks like on Friday. Make sure support holds, let it build on the 60-minute. Find your trend. Cross over the 8, come that opposing point, find the trend. Get a 3-bar bottom. Into the 8, into support. Build it all week. Should be the double back for the weekly close next week for CLF. Looks like steel is trying to do the same, trying to get above the 8. So for a weekly close. Dropped off the map, came in, popped into the 34. So let this come back into the 8. See how it's extended from the 8? Let it come back into the 8. It did its job, the natural course of return into the 34. Match the previous highs. It could just snap right out of there and break previous highs. If it does that, use the previous highs as your support. And watch the 8 just follow. Watch the 8 pull up. Hecla Mining still in its pattern. Looks like it hit resistance. It's back and forth little situation there. Needs to get it to the other side of the channel though, or the pattern. USLV, nice little pop across the 34. 2-bar reversal here, the bullish piercing pattern. Over the 8, into the 8, over the 13, into the 13, crossing over. Boom, previous high breaks over the 34. No problem. It was a good reversal on that one. Nice, powerful, bullish piercing pattern right there. Over, it came over support, back through resistance. Very nice 2-bar pattern over resistance. Bitcoin's working a 2-bar pattern on the weekly still. Maybe a high-level consolidation. Had a spike high, that was about it. 2-bar reversal, dark cloud cover. Patterns can fail and do. So watch for a bounce off the 8. If it goes sideways for 6 months, no problem. Well, maybe not 6 months. But let it do it staying high level consolidation above the 8. See if it can do it. I don't think there's a lot of sellers out there. Not for Bitcoin. Dash, I'm still bullish on Dash. Popped over, came back into support. I'm watching for previous high breaks on Dash. Ethereum, still working that 2-bar reversal. Nothing yet as far as a bottom is concerned on the weekly chart. Still waiting for it to come back in. It's got a downward trend line, that 8 needs to cross over. Litecoin had a little rejection there. Popped over the 13.8, came back into support, and now it's in a little pinch. It's got to decide up or down. Dun, dun, dun. So the pattern is getting filled up. I've got the 34 running right there. So let it break onto the upside. I think it will. This is the one I'm buying off and on for forever. Oh, not this one. I'm buying the Bitcoin exchange one, not Ethereum. EOS. I think I'm down on it. But it's not open for another year, so I'm just going to accumulate that one. Litecoin USD, $66. It's a 2-buy reversal on the weekly for Litecoin USD, so watch out for that. Litecoin, Bitcoin. Looks like it's going to rise against Litecoin or against Bitcoin, but fall against the dollar. There you go. That's about it. Let's take a look really quick. Gold's still coming down. Silver off its lows. Gold can come down into 1300, no problem. No problem. Silver needs to bust out. At least get into its resistance first before it turns around for a consolidation. Gold hit the resistance. Silver has not. So let's get silver into resistance. Copper finally met a high. So silver's lagging. Gold and copper hit resistance. Silver is lagging. Silver is the Achilles heel. The bankers' Achilles heel. So buy more silver whenever you can. That's it. Weekly close. Appreciate everybody. Catch me in the morning. I'll do my best. It's early for me. Can't wait for the time to change. Opening up with New York in Arizona is 6:30 in the morning, 5:30 to get up. Sucks. And still, I'm barely making it to the desk with an hour. But I'll see you guys. Thanks for your support, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya.